Welcome back to another video. Today I'm working on the Ironhead. So last year I went for a ride. Let me show you. So last year while I was out cruising around with a buddy of mine, I hit a pothole and I hit this bracket right here, which is my brake. And you can see how it's bent now, so it's not working properly. I really have no brakes whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, put it up on my jack stand, remove the rear wheel, and probably put new brake pads on it. They are drum brakes, so they might be kind of hard to find, but we'll see. I'll start out with Bubba's Tri-City Cycles. Start off by taking off this bolt here. You can see how many times I've hit the ground with it. Hopefully this didn't get bent. Doesn't look like it. It is pretty wore down though. Probably be a good idea to get a new one before that breaks. You can see how many times I've hit the ground with it. That, and I'm gonna replace this with some new drum brakes and let her roll. Alright, now I'm going to move over on this side. I want to take this whole shifter bar right out of here. So I'm going to have to take off my chain, take off this pipe, and I'm going to have to take off my kicker. So I'll get started with removing the pipe from the jugs. Alright, now that I got my pipe off, I can see a lot better. I also need to take off my brake lever. So I just pull out a little cotter pin right here, pull this pin, and yep, that'll be really easy to do. Then I'm going to take off my chain, and this should pull right out. Alright, I got everything off that I need to. I'm just going to have to go on the other side now, pull off that spring right there. Here, let's go to the other side. Alright, this is always fun to put back on. So keep watching, you'll see how I struggle with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. Looks like there's a little set screw right there. And then hopefully I can slide that right out and inspect it. Alright, there we go. No way. So it looks like I'm going to have to take my primary cover off to get to that little set screw right there, if you can see it. Right there. Alright, well, I'm not taking that primary cover off just for that set screw. Instead, I'm going to cut it down. There we go. Perfect. Alright, you can see how bent that is. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it might be bent. It doesn't want to come out of there very easy. Alright, there we go. Oh, it doesn't look bent. Alright, well, I had to order some parts. I got a new chain coming and a few brake parts, including brake pads. While I wait, I'm going to go ahead and replace my throttle cable with a chrome braided one. Start off by unhooking it up here. Alright, let's see how that's in there. I'm just gonna pull it out right there. I'm gonna need, it looks like a 7/16 there. Alright, that's 3/8. I'll break that loose. How does that come out of there now? I just got it. This comes off. Okay, now to get this out of there, you take off this little end piece by just turning it sideways and pulling it off. And then you can slide this right out of there. We're done with that part. Go ahead and slide this back in there now. This one has a different kind of ball that doesn't come off, so I don't need this. It's going to thread right back in there. Going to hook in there same way it did before, right in that little groove. Going to lay right in there like that. There we go. Alright, now we get into the carburetor here. You can see I loosened it as much as I could, so there's a lot of slack in there. What I want to do is just pull it right out, just like that. And this should slide right out of there. Perfect. Alright, there we go. Pulled the old one off. That was easy. Now the new one's going to slide in there same way. No, it won't fit. Why won't it fit? I'm gonna have to open it up a little bit. Alright, on this, slide in the groove there. Just gonna slide right in there. Alright, there we go. I got it on. I'm gonna have to put some tie wraps on it to hold it in place. And do some final adjustments right here. But yeah, I think that looks good. I think once I get my brake done and my clutch done, it's gonna look really good. All right, I got this all adjusted now. Come down here and take a look. Oh, I guess I can tighten up just a little bit more. It must have loosened on me a little bit. But, yep, just a little bit, because I don't want that spring falling on there. So I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit more. But I also noticed how I ran this through my my gas line. So I'm just gonna pull it off at the petcock, run it the right way, and put it back on. I figured somebody out there would have noticed that. Alright, well, since it's starting to rain, I'm gonna pull it inside. Okay, I'm back. Well, it's a week later. I got some parts in. Got some new brake shoes and a new chain. So to get started here, I'm gonna go ahead and take my rear tire off. So chain's ready done. I think all I really have to do is loosen this. It should come right off. That's gonna be 3/4 inch socket. Should be a few washers in there too. Yep. All right, now all I got to do is tap the axle out. Should be good. Now I can grab it on this side. pull that right out. There's my spacer that just fell out. All right, and I think I've got to loosen. Let's take a look. I think I need to loosen this up too. Forgot about that. But I'm going to look in the manual to make sure. I'll be right back. All right, well, after consulting my manual, right here, it's exactly how to do it. Disengage the chain, remove the adjusting nut from the brake rod, and remove the axle nut. That's it. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try again. There we go. Alright, got that off. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brakes. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Look at that. Huh. No wonder why the bike wasn't stopping for me. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead now and take these. This one's pretty loose. I'll go ahead and put the new ones on, and might have to get some new springs for it too. We'll see. This one's real tight. Alright, well, that cleaned up nice. So did the springs. Got brand new brake pads here. I'm going to use gloves so I don't get the oil from my fingers all over the brake pads, but I'll also spray it with brake clean before I put it all together. Just like that. Now for my springs, I think this one goes on the back. Alright, now this is going to go back together the same way it came apart. So, this one here, just going to take this off, hook it in there. If you can see right there, I'm going to hook it in. Alright, I got to set it down. There we go. Just like that. There, that's better. There we go. There. Now I can put it back together. Alright, now that I got it all together, I gave it all a shot of brake cleaner. Go ahead and put it in. It goes in just like that. I'll go ahead and put it back on the bike now. this side. And we'll put my spacer back in it. Right here. Go. All right, now I just got a lock washer in my axle nut. I'm not going to tighten it up yet because I got some adjusting to do, and then we'll torque it down to the right torque specs. But I'm going to go ahead and put my new chain on now. All right, now that I got my brakes on, and they work, they're not sticking or nothing. So now I'm going to go ahead and put on a new chain. To start, I want to loosen these up. Now I can move the tire forward to get the chain on. And then I'll use this for an adjustment. There we go. Alright, now for the main event. The new chain. This is an O-ring style chain, so I don't have to oil it. The oil's already inside. There's the master link. You can see the little rubber gaskets that are in there, little rubber washers. Those are to help make it keep the oil inside the chain. All right, let's go ahead and see if I can put this on without having to take off my kicker pedal and the cover and everything. Might have to, but give it a try first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my kicker pedal off now and this cover, so I can feed it through the front sprocket. All right, I'm going to start by taking off my kicker pedal. These are 9/16. And that should slide right off. Now for this, usually just grab it. Slide that off. Alright, I'm going to have to unstrap the bike for a minute. Alright, now I loosened up my strap, so I'm going to take that off. This cover should slide right out. Alright, after messing around with that old one, actually the new one, notice on the new one, there's no little groove anywhere for my lock ring to go on. So I don't really trust it. I want a lock ring on there. I'm not sure how this one works, but if it don't have a lock ring, I'm not trusting it. So I'm going to use my old master link. Put my rubber bushings on. This one should go on there a lot easier. Oh yeah, look at that. That's how it's supposed to be, just like that. And then this should just snap right on there with a screwdriver. Alright, I got my chain on, my master link, my lock ring. I can go ahead and tighten up my chain now. To do that, what I'm going to do is I'll pull it as tight as I can, and then I'll tighten this first nut down right here just to hold it in place. I'll do the same to this side. Alright, well, I got my chain on yesterday. It's not completely tightened up yet because I have to wait. Got a few other things I got to do first. But I cleaned up my cover really well. I still have to put on the brake shaft. And I guess you'd call this a brake shaft also. So I'm going to go ahead and install this now, get my cover put on, put everything back together, and go for a ride. Alright, I'm just finishing up. Got my pipes on, chains on, brake pads are on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten up my chain now. Alright, well, I'm back again. I got her all finished up the other day, but then I realized I had a dead battery. And when I mean dead, I mean she wouldn't even charge anymore. So I ended up picking up a new battery yesterday. I charged it overnight. There's only one last thing to do now. Can you guess what it is? Yeah, that's right. Polarize my generator. So in order to do that, I'm going to take these alligator clips I have. I'm going to clip one onto my positive terminal here. Take this over to my armature and just touch it once or twice. There you go. I could hear it click. That polarized my generator. She's alive. All right, now time to go back to work.